This is Monday Morning Meditations, number 259 on the Rising Man podcast with Jedi Azuma. Stop letting people live rent-free in your head. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Rising Man podcast. Happy Monday morning to you. My name is Jedi Azuma, and I can't wait to jump into today's Monday morning meditation with you. Today's topic for our Monday morning meditation is how to evict the voices that live in your head. What if I told you that even if you're not aware of it, you've got people from your past and your present living rent-free inside your head? I love this phrase because it's something that I heard in the sports world of, these athletes that get the media and all this attention in their head and they get psyched out by it. The reality is that we all have this experience in our day-to-day lives. A lot of times we talk about authority. Who am I giving authority to in my life? Who am I giving my power away to? Whose voice is living in my head, whether they're dead or alive, in my life or not in my life anymore? Whose voice is still in there having an influence over me? I was talking to one of the men in my community today, and we were talking about the experience of having people in our lives who just enter into our head and just can completely rattle us out of a good state. Just think about where this might have happened for you. You're having a great day, everything's going well, and all of a sudden an ex-girlfriend comes out of nowhere from your past, says something, maybe they just comment on an Instagram post you have, and all of a sudden, all of your attention goes right to that person. I've had this experience happen to me before. There are so many people who have come up to me, whether it's in person, on a text message, on a DM, and said, man, the work you're doing in Rising Man, what you said on the podcast, that message you had last week just, really hit me. Thank you. All these acknowledgments, literally hundreds of messages that I've gotten from people over the years of the great work that I'm doing. The one person who heckles me, who leaves a comment on a YouTube video, who sends me a message and calls me a phony or a fraud or challenges something that I believe in, all of a sudden, every single one of those positive reinforcing messages goes away, is a distant memory, and all my attention goes right over to this one person who I don't even know. I don't even know who they are. Why would that one person get all of that attention, take all of my energy and suck it into this one message that landed in my inbox? It's because of something I'm going to share with you guys right now. There's a metaphor I often use about a kingdom and every man having his own kingdom. Whatever your castle looks like, you've got brick walls, you've got a moat built around it, there's a high tower, whatever that is, your kingdom is 100% under your direction and authority. Who's allowed to enter? Who's not allowed to enter? What beliefs exist inside of your castle? What the walls look like, what the decor looks like, and symbolically, what is the world around you and within you that you subscribe to, that you choose to see? It's the beliefs I have about myself. It's the reflections that I'm willing to look at in my own mirror. And I am responsible for who gets to have some sort of entry or influence over my kingdom, my castle. This is similar to a conversation of having boundaries. The tricky part about this is that sometimes, because I'm not paying attention, I let people pass through the walls, pass through the doors, enter my kingdom, and start messing around with my stuff in there when I didn't give them permission to, when I don't really care what they have to say. Because their assessments, their opinions of me don't matter. I don't want to give them authority. I don't want to give authority to the heckler who lives in middle of nowhere, Wisconsin, that I don't even know or have a relationship with. But if I'm not paying attention, I let that person stroll right in through the back door. And then they come in and they start to move things around and make me feel a certain way about myself because all of a sudden there's an intruder inside the walls of my castle, even if it's somebody that I know. Maybe it's an ex-partner or a person in my life that I've had a falling out with. We have history together. And then they come up out of nowhere and they start giving me venom and calling me out for things that happened 10 years ago. And before I know it, all of the growth and good work I've done over the last 10 years becomes erased because this person stepped into the walls of my kingdom and is making a ruckus in there. And the key is that I allowed it to happen. Because I care so much about being the best version of myself, the loudest voice in the room becomes the most critical one. It's something for me to look at, something for you to look at too. I don't want to let people come in and spend time in my castle and live rent-free in my head. I don't want to let people who don't belong there, who I haven't given permission and authority to be there. But if I don't pay attention, that can happen. And just think of where this has happened in your life. Where is there somebody who just can completely disrupt and interfere the momentum that you have in your life? Because they said something, or all of a sudden they pop up and even your body starts to feel a different way. That's because this is somebody that you've given unfiltered access to your kingdom unknowingly. And they can come in there and say something, whether it's true or not, and impact you and completely throw you off from your day, from your momentum. Here's how you evict those voices. Kick them out of the kingdom. You don't have to be a jerk about it, but energetically or directly and or both, you can say, I don't give you any authority to make those assessments about me. I haven't given you permission to give that opinion of me, and frankly, I'm not interested. Thank you. Goodbye. Or if we want to be in relationship or conversation, I'm not interested in speaking about our past. I don't want to hear what you have to say about your experience of me as a man anymore. I'm willing to be in conversation with you moving forward on the grounds of respect and non-judgment and mutual curiosity, but I will not be in relationship with somebody who wants to come in and say things about me like what you're saying about me. I'm drawing a line. You are not welcome in here, in my world, in this world. And that can be a hard thing to do. But if you don't want to be under the influence of all these opinions and what people from your past might be saying about you, then you have to take that responsibility and that authority back for yourself. Evict all of those people who don't belong in your kingdom anymore. And it's important to have some people in there, people you trust, people you know have your best interest in mind, because hey, if I'm not willing to listen to anybody's reflections or perspectives of me, then I become a narcissist. And I'm not willing to look at myself in any other perspective than my own. But there's also a lot more discretion we can have about who we let in and what we allow them to say or think or share about us. So take a look at your life. See if you can identify 1 or 2 or 3 people who, when they say something about you, it hits differently. It hits harder. It throws you off. It makes you want to go and drink a beer or do something that you ordinarily wouldn't do in your day. Because it's like a knife that's just being stuck in and twisted in the right way. And see if you can find and trace back where you're letting this person into your world without giving them authority for that. And then see if you can reestablish a boundary and kindly and assertively kick them out of your kingdom, because it's your kingdom. You have the say. You get to decide who lives there or not. So I hope this landed for you. Make sure you tune in next week for another Monday morning meditation. And until then, rise up and claim your destiny.